and I'm on board Carnival Firenze. I thought, hold on, I don't even see myself. Can you see me? Let's see, hold on. Can you see me? Welcome in, Michael. Can you see me on the screen? How am I starting off with technical difficulties? Hold on. All right, let me try something else. All righty. Welcome in, guys. I think I'm back. This app that I'm using to try to stream on YouTube and Instagram, YouTube and Facebook, it's been giving me some glitches lately, so I'm gonna have to get rid of it. It's like when I press a button, let me try it one more time. I apologize, guys. Hold on one second. It's like it automatically changes my camera. So I have to go in. There's a little trick to it, but I'm done doing this, so I'll be changing this up. But welcome in, guys. Appreciate you guys letting me know that you can probably now hear and see me, hopefully. But welcome in. Let's see who we have here. We have Michael. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Deanna, welcome in. Welcome in. Lyda Shay, welcome in. Says you can't see me. I hope you guys can see me now. I know it's not the best view, best lighting. There's a reason why I'm here. I'll explain in a minute. Welcome in, Nick and Don. Appreciate you guys being here. Welcome in, Kelly, Jonathan. Let's see, Felicia. Welcome in, welcome in. You guys can see me now. Awesome. Keeling Shop Life, welcome in. Ella McKinley, happy Sunday. Yeah, we're having an amazing time. I just wanted to hop on and you guys have any questions about Carnival Friends that you can feel free to drop those in the chat. Just wanted to give an overview of my experience so far. We have today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's a port day, and then we're off the ship. So if you have any questions about Carnival or any questions about Carnival Friends Day, you can feel free to drop those in the chat. Welcome in, Lizzie Johnson and Natalie. Terrence Parker, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in to everyone. Is it Yadrell? Am I saying that right? Welcome in. Nick, he's doing well. He's doing well. And actually, I think this is probably one of his best cruises since he became an adult. Because there wasn't, in the past, there had been these, I'm not going to say riffs, but it's like, well, yeah, he was kind of struggling about not going to the kids' clubs or the teen stuff. So now I think he got on the ship and he totally understood what the vibe was going to be and kind of what to expect doing the adult things, and we've had no problems. So he's been having a good time. He's had a little bit of independence. Like last night, we went to the Silent White Night party. I didn't know that party was an hour and a half to 2 hours long. I was there with him until probably like 11 o'clock. And then I gave him a 30-minute curfew and I told him he had to be, give him a process, and he's pretty good with it. And by 11:30, he was in the cabin. So he's having a great time. Right now, he's resting in the cabin, charging his phone up. So welcome in, Carrie. Welcome in, Isis, watching from Facebook. Appreciate you tuning in. Jonathan, first question. How's the food, and particularly the Italian? I'll be very honest. I'm not a huge Italian eater. The food overall on the ship has been good. I haven't had, trying to think, I had something that I didn't, no, I had a salad or something, but it was more because it was lukewarm. But I haven't had anything that I didn't like. The food for me is probably a step above some of the other carnival ships I've been on recently. So food, like no complaints at all. Last night was Italian night. Andrew had some Italian food. He loves Italian. So he enjoyed it, but there's not a whole lot of Italian theme. So that's the thing. This ship is known, just same thing with Venetia. It is carnival, was it fun Italian style or whatever. There's not a whole, you don't see a big difference in what they serve as far as like Italian stuff. They will label in the dining room what's like Italian themed, but it's really not a big difference. There's a couple of items. The buffet is pretty much the same. Now, what's different, which is more Italian, is La Strada Grill, which we had for lunch today. I'll be very honest, it was, the mac and cheese actually wasn't terrible, but the meat was very, very salty. But La Strada Grill replaces Guy's Pig and Anchor, and it has more Italian like sides. They have like sausage, and they have pulled pork and things like that. So it's not quite barbecue. It's more like Italian themed food, but that's really the only thing. And the fact that they have gelato at Java Blue Cafe. Michael says, is the Costa by Carnival experience worth checking out, or do you prefer other classes of ship in the Carnival fleet better? I definitely think it's worth checking out. The vibe, I think the biggest difference you're going to find on this ship is the vibe. It's a little more laid back than your typical Carnival cruise, but it's still nice. Now, guys, let me tell you this. The fun squad on this ship, they had to have handpicked them from somewhere because the fun squad on this, like, I feel like they might have taken like the best fun squad, from different ships and put them all together. They are fantastic. Lots of fun. Guys, the sail away, I'm going to go ahead and say hands down, the sail away party on this ship is probably the best carnival sail away I've ever had. It was a lot of fun. They were dancing. It was amazing. But I definitely say it's worth trying. But yeah, it's definitely worth trying. I would say out of all of the carnival classes, I love the Mardi Gras celebration. I love the Excel class, the newer classes. Um, yeah, it's different, but it's not bad. And this is very similar to the Vista class. So it actually is the Vista class. So if you've ever cruised on Vista, Horizon, Panorama, any of those, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just the decor is more Italian style. But yeah, definitely give it a try. And guys, I do apologize for my background. It is freezing outside. I was planning on going outside to do a live stream. Um, it's just cold. It's like 60 something degrees, windy, cold. This is one of the things about cruising out of the West Coast that I feel like I don't care for. The three cruises we've had out of the West Coast, it was cold. So it's very dreary out today. So I'm inside. So I was trying to go to another deck where I could have like a nice background, but they're using it for other things. So went to the cabin, but I forgot my lights at home, so there wasn't good lighting there. So I figured I'd just come here. I'm in the lobby on deck 3 near guest services. I didn't want to go where there's going to be a lot of people, so I do apologize. Not a nice background. Welcome in, Belinda. Yeah, the trip is going well. It's going well. We're having a really good time. Honestly, no big complaints at all about this ship. I can't think. One complaint that I have, this is probably strange, is I feel like the Lido Marketplace has a strange smell to me. It smells kind of wet doggish. And I think I don't know if it's just what they're using to clean or if they're not, I don't know. So when I walk in there, especially from the aft of the ship walking in, I get a little nauseous. But other than that, nothing. Like no complaints, honestly. Guest services, customer service, the crew, they've been amazing. Food has been great. Service has been good. The shows, oh, that's something new. They have a new show on board called what is it? My Dear Husband or something like that. So this is a brand new show to Carnival. They only have it on Jubilee and Carnival Firenze, and it's definitely a show worth checking out. Um, could it have been a little better? I felt like the performers weren't like top notch, I should say. But the show, in theory, it's about a couple getting married on a cruise ship. So they have their friends and family come on board the ship to get married. So it's cool. Um, yeah, so that was something nice. Also, something new and different Carnival, and I think they're just now rolling this out with Firenze. Is Deal or No Deal is digital. So I went to Deal or No Deal. I'll have a shorter reel tomorrow for that. But yeah, everything's digital, so you don't have to purchase cards or anything. Everything will be on your phone. So you'll need phone or tablet to do that. But let's see. But welcome into everyone who's watching. 69 people of you guys watching. 69 of you guys watching. Appreciate if you have any questions about Carnival Friends Day, feel free to drop those in the chat. I just thought I would pop in just to kind of check in because there's not a whole lot going on today. We have hibachi or teppanyaki for dinner around 5:30. So had some downtime. I was working, and it's just too cold to be outside. Oh, my other complaint. So if you guys don't know, the Lido deck is covered with a retractable roof. They have not opened it at all this cruise. And so it can get stifling out there. Like the sail away was stifling. Even last night at the white party, it was cool outside, but because that was closed in, it was really, really hot. So I don't know why they haven't opened it. I don't know if they've opened it on other cruises. But yeah, it would be nice to get that open sometime, let some fresh air in. Yeah, he's adjusting just fine. Welcome in to Shanna Bryan. Thanks for being here. Christine, welcome in, welcome in. It's almost identical, Ellis McKinley. It's almost identical to Venencia. I really don't see a difference. Like I said, they have the new show. That's something different. The digital Deal or No Deal. It's identical. So if I had to pick one or the other, I think I like this a little better, and it's probably more so because maybe some of the glitches that I experienced on Venencia because I was on the U.S. inaugural sailing, they kind of worked out as far as like service and things. Because I had issues with service on Venencia. I don't have any complaints on this ship. The vibe is nice. It's not your typical like sailing out of Miami. Everyone is on 10 vibe. People are more relaxed. And this sailing is actually a lot more diverse than I've seen on Carnival. And I think it's just cruising from West Coast. So very, very diverse group. So it's a fun vibe. It's a little bit tamer than some Carnival ships. Like if you're thinking Carnival Conquest, Carnival Sunrise, it's a little it's a little more tame. So I don't mind it at all. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Congratulations to Andrew. Thank you. Welcome in, Tracy. We appreciate it. Carlene, welcome in. See, let's see. I have not tried Shaq's wings. On, honestly, I saw someone receive theirs. I don't know what they ordered, but I was getting a hot dog because the hot dog stand is right next door. And I was debating whether I was going to get wings. And I saw her wings, and I'm funny about wings. Like, I want crispy skin. I either want my wings fried hard, or I want them like roasted with crispy skin. And the skin looked a little like pig feetish to me. So I don't know. We might try them. Andrew wants to try them, so we might just go get like I think you can get like a 10 piece. We might just try it. I don't want oiled wings. I need some color to them, and I didn't like how those were looking. But yeah, I might just try them so you guys can see what they look like. Maybe I'll do that after this. Well, no, because we have hibachi here soon. But yeah, I plan to give them a try. Now, speaking of shacks, they have on this ship, they have Chicken Shack, which is not um, Big Chicken or Big Shacks on the Excel class, and also I think on Carnival Radiance. They have similar items. The fries are the same, but the chicken is different. So if you come on the ship thinking you're getting Big Shacks or Big Chicken, you're not. Um, it's not bad, but it's just not Big Shacks at all. Um, I've had it a couple of times. The breakfast is not good. I will say that they have these, you'll see it in the vlog, but they have like these very square biscuits. And I don't know, they're like just really hard. Then it comes with like a egg patty, but it's almost like the scrambled eggs, like they put it in a mold or something. I don't know. It was weird, but if you guys watch Lalito Loca, I think he did a video on like don't eat this on Carnival. I would 100% agree with it. But again, like I said, overall the food has been good. But yeah, that the chicken is good. The breakfast just wasn't good for me. Jose says love the Firenze. Yeah, it's an amazing ship. It's an amazing ship. My husband says, why I got to go to your live stream to see my wife? You just saw me before the live stream. So dramatic. Lenore says, I feel like the West Coast vibe is always a bit laid back. I will agree with that now that I think actually you gave me the heads up on it when we first sailed Panorama. And it's absolutely correct. It's a totally different vibe than if you're cruising from Miami or Parking Out or even like New Orleans or any place else. It is a very, very laid back. The sail away was very nice on this ship, though. You guys will see that in the vlog. But yeah, very laid back. And I appreciate that. I mean, I don't mind it at all. It says, Michael says, Ron, please remind us who packed the sodas in the suitcase. Michael's referring to the Carnival Panorama. I had packed Andrew's, and rookie mistake. I mean, I should know this. I put his case of Sprite in his suitcase so it was easier for him to carry, and they confiscated it. Andrew was upset with me. But just so you guys know, I did order him, what is it called? The other Sprite? I don't even know the name of it. The Sprite they use on board, Starry. So he has Starry in the cabin. He loves Sprite, so Nick says, there's Ron. I was wondering when he chimed in with something fun. Yeah. Chelsea says, how's the food? I'm going June 27th. The food, I really have no complaints. Well, I said I have no complaints, but uh, Big chicken shack, I would say. Breakfast avoided. The chicken tenders are good. The fries are good. Everything we've had has been pretty good. Even I Viaggio, which is a specialty Italian restaurant. Now, I did not care for it on Firenze. I'm sorry, on Venecia. It was a lot better on this ship. So definitely give it a try if you want to do some specialty dining. Tonight we have teppanyaki. I know that's going to be good because that's pretty consistent across Carnival. Um, Buffet has been for breakfast has been pretty good. Blue Iguana. Let me just talk about that because if you guys watch my Carnival Panorama series, I talked about how um, for whatever reason, I didn't like the burritos on Panorama. I think they changed the tortilla, they changed the eggs. So pretty much on this ship, it is the same old blue iguana minus the crispy hash browns. So Carnival has done completely away with the crispy potatoes. They're using I forgot what they called like a pan roasted something potato. So for me, it changes the texture of the burrito, which for me changes how I enjoy it. Because the crispy potatoes, for those of you who haven't had it, that really adds a lot of texture to the burrito, and I'm kind of funny about texture, so it's good. The flavors are back. I was wondering if Carnival changed it across the fleet or if it was just Panorama, but the burritos on here were good. I've had two, so pretty good. But yeah, food, no major complaints. LD Williams, welcome and says, I agree somehow it's always cold sailing out of the West Coast. It is. I don't, yeah, I'm just thankful this is my airport hoodie or airplane hoodie. I'm just thankful I brought it because I didn't bring like jeans or pants or anything. It's just been, yeah, and every day it's been cool, but today it's like really cold, very windy. Um, yeah, I don't like it at all. Chelsea says, "Oh, I answered your question. Did you check out all the paintings on each floor going up and down the stairs?" I've checked out some of them, not all of them, but yeah, beautiful decor, beautiful paintings across the ship. So yeah, definitely something to check out. It's totally different than other things. Charles says they canceled our sailaway party. It started pouring down rain. Oh no, Charles, forgot what ship you mentioned you were on. You're on Celebration. So Charles is cruising to Carnival Celebration. Oh, that's no fun. No fun. Kelly says, "How were your excursions?" So yesterday was a port day. We did a short excursion through Carnival, which was forgot what it was called, Cabo Adventures. It was an ATV UTV adventure. Did it only because Andrew loves racing. He loves ATVs, things like that. He can't drive them, but he enjoys being in them. And so we did that. I'll be honest, it started off kind of rocky, so for those of you cruising out of Cabo soon, know this. If you book a short excursion with Carnival, regardless of the time of your excursion, they're kind of somewhat forcing you off the ship early. What I mean by that is, and I didn't know this, and I asked questions because I was a little upset about it because we literally almost waited 2 hours before our short excursion. So our short excursion ticket, our tour was for 10:45. They told us to meet up at 9 a.m. to get off the ship. So I was like, oh, maybe that's just a typo. Maybe, I couldn't even recall what time I scheduled the excursion for. So we went to the dining room at 9 o'clock to get on the water taxi because it's a tender port. So right at 9 o'clock, they called our tour. So we got on the water taxi. When we got into Cabo, they hadn't even set up the short excursion booth or anything. And so we were kind of waiting around for line. And then we were in line for a good 30, 40 minutes. And then the lady said, oh, you have the 10:45 tour. Come back later. I'm like, what do you mean come back later? And she's like, you're too early for your tour. Right now we're checking in the 9:45 or whatever. So I'm like, well, why did they have us get off the ship? So then Carnival eventually said that, yeah, pretty much. If you have a tour, they're getting you off the ship first because of the tender, which is not a problem if you know that. Because I probably would have planned to have breakfast in Cabo or done something else rather than just wait at the port. There's not many benches or anything, so we were just out there waiting like almost 2 hours for it to start. And there were a couple other people upset too because they had like a 12:30 tour. So keep that in mind. What you can do to avoid that is if you notice your meetup time is like a couple hours before your tour, just try to get an early tender ticket. That way you can just get on, in due time or get over there with enough time for your tour without going with the whole group because people were upset. Um, but outside of that, once we got there, it was a lot of fun. It was a 45-minute drive both ways. which I was not really expecting. So it's 45 minutes, kind of a scenic ride, so it wasn't too bad. We were on the ATVs for about a good hour, I think. The only thing, it's in the desert, so it was extremely, extremely dusty. But it was fun. It was fun, and it came with food that I didn't know we even had, and it came with some shots of tequila and drinks. So it was a great tour after getting past all those hiccups. But I'll be very honest, that is the reason why I don't book. Um, that's the reason why I don't tend to book short excursions through the ship, because they're always trying to get groups, large groups of people on tours, and it was just kind of chaotic. And I'll share that in the vlog. But overall, yeah, the excursion was good. Tomorrow we're in Ensenada. We're doing another ATV tour, and we're going to a Hot Stones Park, or no, Hot Springs Park, and that I booked with a third party company. So we'll be doing, I think it's called Ensenada ATV, or ATV Ensenada, or something like that. So we'll be walking to that tour, and then that's a 3 or 4 hour tour. Christine says, I wish the Spirit had teppanyaki and Shaq's Big Chicken. Yeah, they need to, I think Shaq's Big Chicken, they need to get it across all ships, because it's really good. I think it's a fan favorite. So they need to get that across. Welcome in, Shorty B. Appreciate you tuning in. Jonathan says, strange they don't open the retractable roof. Yeah. And I don't know why they didn't open it. I know on Venetia they did open it. So I don't know why they didn't, but it was like really, really stuffy in there. So Gloria, welcome in. So they're just gonna suffocate y'all. Yeah, it was pretty hot. Welcome in, Anthony on the move. Michael says, are you able to share the next ship you'll be sailing? Yes, and if you guys don't know, I tend to announce our channel members get exclusive insight. Like as soon as I book the cruise, our platinum and diamond channel members, they get access to that. They know when I'm cruising, so they might already know the rest of the schedule for the year. And then closer to the sailing, I don't mind sharing it out to everyone. But we will be on board the media event for Margarita Velezzi Islander. We were invited on board, which is taking place in a week. We'll be on board for that. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll be sharing everything about that brand new ship. And we're going to get off of that. And then we have a 1 day break, because the media event is a 2 day event on board. And then there's a 1 day break in between for them to prepare for the inaugural cruise. We'll be back on the inaugural cruise as well. And so we'll be in Busch Gardens in between. We'll be bringing you guys with cruise content. Yeah, so we're going to Let's See Islander is the next cruise. Welcome in, Tom. The inaugural Firenze, you're right about Chicken Shack. At least they have the fries, yeah. Yeah, the chicken looks like Big Shacks, but it doesn't taste like it. It's not bad though, not at all. Anthony says, yes, I tried that hard square egg biscuit on Jubilee. Yeah, that's a mess. And it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that on Celebration. So I don't know who thought of that. But yeah, the biscuit, it's terrible. Isis is laughing. Honeybee, welcome in from Central Florida. Welcome in, Keisha H. Appreciate you tuning in. Robert says, you guys have a safe and blessed cruise from the Brown family. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Jonathan says, Anthem of the Sea sailed past my house a couple of hours ago en route to Spain, I think. One of the benefits of having a sea view and not far from the ports. That's awesome. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to see. Let's see. Pooh's Mommy 2021, welcome in. I'm glad you're able to catch a live. I kind of just decided, because there wasn't a whole lot going on right now that we wanted to do, that I would just pop up and go live. It seems like the way that itinerary or the agendas are, so Carnival does like a lot of trivia, a lot of family type activities, games on Alita, things like that in the mornings. It seems like the evenings are jam packed. So like last night we went to Deal or No Deal. We went to, I think, a comedy show. They had karaoke competition. We had the White Night, a silent disco, which was a lot of fun. That was my very first time doing a silent disco on Carnival. And it's funny because usually those things happen late and I'm always in bed, but I wanted to stay because I knew Andrew wanted to do it. It was so much fun, like a lot of fun. So I'll now have to make sure that's something I do. I did leave him on the way though for a little bit though, because it went long. But so yeah, so it's almost like during the day on sea days, there are things to do, but it's really a good time to relax. Um, maybe do a little bit of shopping. I did go to the Platinum Diamond party, um, grab a couple of drinks, and I've been working today. So, and Andrew's just been chilling. Fernando says hello from Spain. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in, Miss Tiffy. And D&W Love to Cruise. Thanks for being here. And we have Angel from Travel Vibes with Angel. Welcome in. Yes, he's having a blast. He really is. He really is. But welcome into the 82 of you guys watching. So if you have any questions about Carnival Firenze, um, yeah, if you have any questions about Carnival Firenze Carnival at all, feel free to ask. I just wanted to kind of drop in because I'm still on board Carnival Firenze until Tuesday, I believe. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. The cruise director, actually, he's I didn't realize this until the BIFP party. He's Kendall Fire's fiance. His name is Joey. He's really good. Yeah, a lot of energy. He's very visible, bubbly personality. I've been enjoying him, but yeah, he's. If you guys know Kendall Fire is, she's the cruise director on Carnival Jubilee, one of the higher rated um, cruise directors with Carnival. I've never cruised with her, but I've heard that she's pretty good. A lot of energy, but yeah. Um, what else? Yeah, feel free to drop any questions you might have. Welcome in, Game Changer. Appreciate you tuning in. But let's see, what else haven't I talked about? Our cabin. So we have our very first time in a deluxe ocean view cabin. If you guys aren't familiar with the deluxe ocean view cabins, they're really, I think, more so for families. Like Andrew and I have used it, but it's one of the cabins that has a split bathroom layout. So you have one bathroom that has, your toilet, sink, and shower, and then you have another bathroom that has a sink and a tub in a shower. It's really nice for families because you can have multiple people showering at the same time. And so I've enjoyed it. I was a little nervous thinking that because it had that extra bathroom that it was going to cut down on the cabin size, and it really doesn't. So I feel like the space is nice. I would definitely get it again. And we're also on deck one, which I think it's our first time on deck one ever. We tend to like to stay on the Lido deck. Um, so first time on deck one and really no complaints, like none at all. I know when we were on Conquest, we had issues with people running through the deck, but nothing on this ship. Travel Life says he just came off the Jubilee. He let us know he had gotten engaged. Yeah. He's engaged to Kendall. Yeah. Um, the food overall has been good. I did touch on that earlier on. Really no complaints. No complaints really about the food. Um, Lots of options. I mean, you have your included buffet. You have Tamadoro, which replaces Blue Iguana. But it still has the same things. It does have a couple of Italian style sandwiches, which I still haven't had a chance to try. It's almost like there's so much on the ship to eat that it's hard to get it in on like a 4 or 5 night cruise. So we haven't even gone to Tomadoros other than for their breakfast burrito. Um, you have La Strada Grill. You have the deli. Oh, that's the other thing. So this ship, which is different than Venetia, they have, can't think of the name of it. On deck 11, right above the Lido, it's kind of tucked away. They have a section that has like meatballs and sausage and hot dogs that it's self-served, and it's also the deli. So that's kind of a cool spot that they repurposed it because on Venetia it was just like a lot of tables and chairs up there, but now it's like a spot you can grab something to eat. So that's kind of nice to have there. But yeah, food has been great. Um, the dining room has been pretty okay. Service has been good. We have anytime dining, and I strategically got anytime dining for this cruise because I remember hearing what a nightmare anytime dining was on Venetia. We rarely do anytime dining. We usually do a set dining time like 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. So I wanted to do the anytime dining just to see how it flowed on the ship, and we haven't had any issues. Just check in on the Carnival Hub app before you go down to the dining room, and you won't have to wait. And I haven't even noticed like a line going down the hallway with people waiting. So yeah, food has been good. Service has been good. Welcome in, Jane. I appreciate you being here. I will do that. Michael says, which cruise line brand will you sell with the most this year? It's probably Carnival. I'm in the process of trying to knock out all of their ships. I think I'm a little over halfway through their fleet. Um, Probably Carnival, I think. Trying to think coming up. Actually, I think I only have one more Carnival for the year. So, um, yeah, and we don't have anything booked yet for November, December, because if you guys recall earlier in the year, I shared we're trying to go to Africa. So we strategically didn't book anything for November, December, because we think we're going to be going to visit my brother in Rwanda. So, yeah, I think still for this year is probably Carnival. I've been on, what, 3 Carnival ships this year so far, and I have one more to go. But I think I still have 10 cruises for the year. Maybe more. Miss She Rose, welcome in. What is your favorite Carnival ship? I primarily sell Virgin Voyages, but will sell Mardi Gras this summer. Mardi Gras is one of the top. Um, it changes out so often, I think. It used to be Carnival Sunrise because of the value, because it's like a mid-sized ship for families. But I'm going to have to go with the XL class right now. I'm going to have to say Celebration and Mardi Gras. Um, I did love Panorama. I just don't, if I had to choose cruising from the West Coast versus Miami, Port Canaveral, I would just stick with cruising out of Florida. Um, so, sorry, they're doing scavenger hunt or something right now. Hope you guys can still hear me. So yeah, I'm gonna say anything in the Excel class. Yeah, I'll just stick with that because it changes up all the time. Oh, and I take that back. Michael, I will be on 2 more Carnival ships. I just thought of another one this year. Travel Vibe says, I like those rooms. I had one on the Magic. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I would definitely get on them. Now I have to figure out, I think some of those ships they can accommodate 5. So we might, if you guys recall, we did Carnival Elation family. I try to show you guys how you can have 5 in the cabin. We might test that out again in one of those cabins. Save some money. The boys won't like it, but D&W says, have you cruised out of Tampa, Florida cruise port? Not yet. We'll be cruising out of Tampa here in a week. We're going to be on board the Margaritaville at Sea Islander media cruise, which is June 11th through the 13th. Then we get off of it for a day break, and we're going to be in Busch Gardens. We're hosted by Busch Gardens for the day, and then we're going to be back on Margaritaville at Sea for their inaugural cruise. So that'll be our first time cruising out of Tampa. Karen says, do you and your family work for the cruise lines? We own a travel agency, Major Adventures Travel. I was a full-time educator, school principal for the last 19 years. Almost exactly a year ago, I resigned, and I've been doing this full time. So, operating our travel agency, creating content, and cruising. I do full time. So, we own a travel agency. So, we don't work for the cruise lines. We work with them to help people book their vacations, plan their cruises, give you guys cruise content. So, we sometimes get invited on by cruise lines to bring that information. So, like Margaritaville at Sea, that's why I'll be on board to bring ship tour and just to share all the information and kind of how Margaritaville at Sea is family friendly. So yeah, we don't work for them, we work with them. Game Changer, what is your favorite spot? Favorite spot on the ship or favorite spot like port? My favorite spot on this ship is deck 11 that overlooks the Lido deck. It is a covered space. You have lots of tables and chairs. I like that because I can sit and look to see what's happening on the Lido deck. I can work because I have a table. And like I've literally been up there and Andrew's been like down in the lounge chair. So it's a comfortable spot to be. But it would be nice if they opened the retractable roof sometimes. But they haven't opened it yet. Anthony says Joey was on Jubilee in January visiting his boo. Are you cruising in August 2024? I am. I have 2 cruises for August. I'm not going to announce those yet, but one of them is a major bucket list cruise. And my Platinum Diamond channel members know. Yeah, they know. I shared it last week with them. Have you been on Carnival Paradise? Not yet. Have you tried a new cocktail you never had? I'm not a huge drinker. You guys probably, you see me in the vlogs with a drink, but more than likely I only had that drink for the day, maybe a couple. And I tend to stick with the same. Like I love a good margarita. I love a good rum punch. Um, I try not to mix things up. So I try sometimes in the vlogs to bring you guys the content, but I'm not a huge drinker. So yeah, if you give me a margarita, I'm okay. Yeah, Africa. Yeah, we're excited. My brother lives there. He's been working there for the last year and a half. And so he'll be working there for another year or so. So we figure we want to try to get over there while he's there, because then we don't have to pay for a place to stay. So because we'd have to pay for the flights, which are extremely high. But yeah, so we're crossing our fingers. We have not booked anything yet, but it is on our to-do list. We really want to get there. Our biggest concern is the flight. The flight would be like 20 hours. Um, it's a long time. Like I'm thinking just like the 5-hour flights coming to California. The kids have done well with them, but 20 hours is a big thing. So we're thinking if we do it, we would probably fly like 8, 9 hours, stay over a day or two somewhere, and then continue on. We would not do like a straight shuttle, even we would have to have a couple days in between. Welcome in, Mika. Appreciate you tuning in. If I were you, I would go to Wakanda instead. Yeah, Mardi Gras is beautiful. Now, Jubilee, I would like to get on Jubilee at some point. I'm just not in a rush to get on it because I've been on Mardi Gras in Celebration and I know it's pretty much the same thing, just more country theme. We will get on it at some point. Welcome in, Quality Childcare One. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much, Kelly. Are you going on any Royal Caribbean this year? Yes. Yes, I will be on Utopia of the Seas next month. So Utopia of the Seas has its inaugural cruise. It was actually July 22nd, but Royal Caribbean moved it to July 19th. So we were actually invited on board for their preview cruise for their preview media cruise for Utopia of the Seas, but I had to decline because I think we already have a cruise booked at that time. And then when they changed the inaugural, I was not able to shuffle things. So I'll be on board the 22nd, Utopia of the Seas, which is still, they're considering it still an inaugural, but it's really not. What is your cruise status level on each cruise line? You know what? That's something I honestly don't know and I really don't keep track of. I only know Carnival. I'm platinum, kind of somewhat close to getting diamond, but I I don't really I don't really keep track of it that way. Um, Carnival is my most cruise line. I can tell you for Princess, I'm elite, and that's only because I'm a travel agent. So anytime I get on Princess, I'm elite status, which I think is an amazing perk. Christine says, "What is your favorite port and cruise terminal?" My favorite cruise terminal is probably the terminal a lot of people don't like. I like Miami, only because you can literally get there from the airport so fast, and I like Miami, and I think because we go early, we never really face the traffic or anything. Um, Favorite port? Um, I don't know. I think I like them all. I'm really liking Cozumel lately because there's so much to do, so many different things. Like I feel like every time we go, because we'll be in Cozumel, next week I think. I feel like I can do something different every time I go there. I love it. I loved all of the Mediterranean ports that I visited. So it's hard for me to say a favorite port. Yeah, but guys, if you have any questions about Carnival Firenze, Carnival cruises, anything, feel free to drop those in the chat. David says $100 if you push Edna into the pool. I would not do that. Jose says, what phone number do I use if I want to transfer a celebrity booking to you? So if you've already booked and it was booked within the last 60 days, and actually send me a message on Facebook, I will share that information with you. But it has to be booked within the last 60 days, can't be paid in full. And then, yeah, there's a transfer form that you can complete that you can get it transferred to us. I love that. I appreciate it. Uh, Miss Timmy says 20. I thought 12 was long. Yeah. Now, where'd you go? That was 12 hours. Yeah, 20 hours is a long time. It really is. And it's not even just that. We would have to fly from Ohio to probably JFK, then there. So that even adds on to it. So that's our only, I'm not going to say our only because the cost is holding us up. I mean, when you're talking easily $2,000 a person round trip. That's a lot for a family of five. So even if we didn't have to pay for a place to stay, that's a lot of money. So we're working some things out for that. David says my favorite is Juneau, and you live there, right, David? I'm shocked your favorite port isn't Coco Cay. It's not. I like Coco Cay. Um, I honestly will have to say that I think, and I think it keeps changing. Depends on what I want. I'm going to say my favorite private island is Half Moon Cay, which is Carnival's private island, because I just love the serene beach. It has that white powdery sand. It's like the pool. The water is like a pool. It's like crystal clear. You can get some good snorkeling off to the side. Um, I think that's my favorite. Coco Cay is nice. It's very busy. Um, the kids love Coco Cay. I think I personally like Half Moon Cay. When will you be visiting Celebration Key? I'll be on Celebration Key. Um, one of the first sailings. It was the first sailing. Then Carnival. Somebody shared with me that they added, I think Carnival Vista will be going there before Carnival Conquest. So we booked Carnival Conquest, which was the July 18th of next year's sailing, was the first one going to Celebration Key. They changed Carnival Vista. I think their port was going to Princess Cay. They changed it to Celebration Key. So Vista will be there the day before us. I was going to change our cruise and do that, but Vista is an 8-day cruise with only 3 ports. And if you guys know anything, I prefer port days over sea days. And so 8 days, 3 ports, that just doesn't work. Although we do want to get on Vista. Mishy says, I've sailed MSC and the ship was gorgeous. I've heard they are hiring former Carnival cruise directors. Have you heard any tea? Now they did hire on, oh my gosh, Dr. Reverend E. Yes. He is on MSC Magnifica right now. MSC is really trying to step their game up. And I think that them doing what they're doing, if it is true, I've heard the same rumor. I mean, the rumor is true because they've hired him on and he was one of the top rated Carnival cruise directors. If they follow that pattern, they're going to get a lot of Carnival cruisers coming over because some people cruise for the cruise director. Like if they know a certain cruise director's on the ship, they're booking it. And that's just facts. I mean, I don't cruise that way, but I know a lot of people. I get a lot of clients that ask me, "Hey, do you know when so and so is going to be on this ship?" Can so I think it's going to be a good move for MSC if they continue that path. I don't think Carnival will like it, but I think it's a good move for MSC. Mississippi says Barcelona. Yeah, yeah. When we went to Barcelona, I think our flight was 9 hours. Did we do straight? Um, no, we had a layover in Lisbon. I think ours was about 9 hours. Christine says, do you book the cruise and flights? Unfortunately, I don't book flights unless it is a flight that's with the cruise line. There's a reason behind that. When you book a flight with a travel advisor, we're responsible if there's a delay or cancellation. So if I'm on a cruise ship, which right now I'm on a cruise ship, and let's say you're at the airport and all of a sudden your flight gets canceled or you have a delay, when you go to the counter, they will not. They usually won't talk with you. They'll tell you you have to contact your travel agent. The travel agent has to call the travel agent line to either rebook your flight, reschedule, what have you. I don't book flights for that reason. Well, a couple of reasons. Well, honestly, one, we don't get commission. Travel agents do not get commission on flights. I would book the flight as a courtesy because you booked vacation with me, but there's no commission on flights. And flights can be the biggest headache of any vacation because there's always changes that happen. And so if I'm on a cruise ship, I can't call. Pretty much everything else, all of my other business, components, I can handle on a computer. With flights, you have to actually call. And so if I'm out at sea and I can't call, so I just don't book flights for that reason. And I tell people that I don't mind advising you and giving you some of the best rates or telling you where you can go to get the rate that you want or a decent rate. But I just personally won't book it for that reason because I don't want somebody to ever be stuck somewhere because I'm traveling because we do cruise and travel a lot. So no, we don't book flights. But if you book it through like Carnival, like their Flight of Fun or Royal Caribbean, some of the cruise lines they have actual flight programs. I will book those because I have a way of contacting them if I happen to be on a cruise ship. But Otherwise, no. But we do cruises, we do excursions, we'll do airport transfers, hotels, those types of things. Quality Chopper says, what port is this ship and is this a new one? Yeah, this is Carnival Firenze. It is Carnival's newest ship. We ported out of Long Beach, California. Right now we're out at sea. Tomorrow we'll be in Ensenada. So it's a new ship to Carnival. It is not a brand new cruise ship. If I'm understanding correctly, this ship was built for Costa. It is a Vista class ship. It was built, I think, in 2020 or 2021, but it never sailed because of COVID. And the Carnival Corporation bought it over. So I don't think it had any actual passenger sail on it until Carnival took it over. But it's not like it wasn't just built. It's a few years old. Keeling says, yes, Half Moon is my favorite. It's beautiful. It really is. Yeah. I have not had an opportunity to cruise with Dr. E. Or Cookie. I did meet Cookie at a cruise conference, but have not cruised with them. And Cookie's no longer with Carnival either. Yeah, I've heard that he is too. Yeah. And it's funny because I had just got off Magnifica a couple weeks prior to him starting. So I was a little disappointed about that. D&W says, we like MSC. We watched your video before we traveled. It was very helpful. We had a good experience. Yeah, guys, MSC is, I think it's underrated. It's going to be a little quirky. And I tell people that. It's a little quirky, but, change is good. Change is different. Just because Carnival does it this way or Royal Caribbean doesn't mean MSC has to. There are some things I do wish that they would change. Some things, for instance, I just had to advise a client of this. I don't like the fact that if I am traveling with a group of people, if this family decided they were going to have drinks and Wi-Fi included with the promotion, this family said no, we're not, they can't dine together. So it's like quirky things like that I don't like about them. But overall, I mean, their ships are beautiful. I love the ports they go to, and they just expanded some of their port options. um the values there, yeah, I have no problem with them. Christine says, okay, that makes sense. I appreciate your honesty because people won't tell you this. Yeah, if you ask me, I'll let you know. I just don't. And a big part of that is, yes, I don't get commission on it. It's a lot of work to do flights and not get paid for it. Um, but also, I just don't want to leave anybody stranded. Welcome in, a rich and jazzy life. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Says hello, stopping in to say hello. Enjoy your cruise. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys stopping in. Amelia says, I like the Firenze better than Venezia. Um, I think I'm going to go ahead and say that. I do think I like Firenze better than Venezia. But I think it's more so because they ironed out a lot of the quirks that were there with Venezia for this ship. And so, like I said, I haven't had any issues. Like, I'm really enjoying it. Any preference of hotel from Long Beach? The hotel we stayed at, oh my gosh, was Courtyard by Marriott. Actually, you can see the port from it. It's not too far from it. It was like maybe a 5-minute drive. It was a nice hotel. It could be expensive. I got it thankfully under a travel agent rate. Otherwise, it'd be like 220 a night. So keep that in mind. That's one of my issues with cruising out of California is I feel like everything is a lot more expensive. Even when we stayed in LAX, things were higher. So I honestly don't really have a personal recommendation. Um, yeah, I really can't. It's one of those things where I've cruised so many times out of Miami and Port Canaveral, and I can just tell you where to go, who to contact. I'm still learning Long Beach and LAX as far as what to do, and it's just expensive, like crazy expensive. Um, but yeah, so we stayed at the Courtyard Marriott. Dean Davis says, we're ready for a mid-year cruise. Any suggestions? We prefer the Port Canaveral. Off top of my head, off top, how are you guys? Off top of my head, I don't know. Port Canaveral, I mean, Utopia of the Seas. That's the newest thing out of Port Canaveral. I would say maybe hop on that if you're not already. Trying to think what else is coming to Port Canaveral. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you have your XL class ship there. You have MSC actually is it Divina's coming there, I think. So MSC is going to have another ship cruising from there soon. MSC Seashore, if you haven't been on that one, we have our group cruise with 147 people joining us here in a couple of weeks. So yeah, that'll be cool. All right. Any other questions for about Carnival Firenze, Carnival, anything? about cruising, feel free to drop those. I'm going to get off here in a few minutes because Andrew's been in the cabin waiting for me. Like I said, we have teppanyaki dinner tonight. There's still not a whole lot going on until after dinner. I think after dinner there's a show. There's a couple guys, the comedians on Carnival. They've really stepped it up with the comedians. Um, I think just here recently, the last year, I've really made an attempt to go to every comedy show. They are really good. So we had one last night. Can't think of her name, but she's been on a couple of movies. She was excellent. She was excellent. Welcome in, Brian E. Martin. Thanks for being here. Michael says, when will you be on the icon? I was actually already on the icon. I was on the icon for the media event, which was in January. So yeah, check those vlogs. I have Icon of the Seas vlogs from January. I was on the January 23rd sailing, which was the media event. Christine says, if you don't mind me asking, what is your fee for your service? There's no fee. Yep, I don't charge any fees. I just ask that whoever reaches out that, you have serious inquiries, because unfortunately I get a lot of people that, they'll ghost, they'll ask for information, they'll ghost, or, just don't ever respond. And I understand that, I send you pricing and you don't like it, you don't want to book, that's one thing, but I get a lot of people that just aren't serious. And so I just ask, to be respectful of my time as I will be respectful of yours. But yeah, there's no fee for my service. I will help you plan your cruise, book your cruise, help with any excursions, any questions you have. I'm kind of on call for you throughout the whole process. So yeah, we're going to the Mardi Gras for Carnival in August. We'll have a good time. Were there any different activities on the ship, or is it the same as other Carnival ships? So they have this thing called, um, oh my gosh, it just happened last night. They have like an Italian night. So on the Italian night, they have, it's called Festa de Italiano, I think. It's a little festival that they have set up on the Lido deck. I kind of think it's cheesy, but if it's Italian culture and that's kind of, you know, then I respect it. But they play games. They had like arts and crafts. They're supposed to have like gelato tasting. It's like it goes on for like 2.5 hours. So it's not an event that you're gonna just sit and watch the whole thing. You might pop in at certain points. But they had like people trying to like balance like jugs on their head and they're walking back and forth. They had like baggies of arts and crafts for the kids where they can make their own pizza. It's cute, but I think for me, like maybe for like the younger kids, so they do that. They have the Venetian night. So the first formal night is the Venetian night. So people dress up a little bit fancier sometimes, and they wear Venetian masks. Now, this is a tip that you need to know because we actually did it this cruise. Um, on one of the first sea days, they're going to have a Venetian mask making, what they call it, creativity at sea. And it happens pretty early. It was like 9 o'clock in the morning, but Andrew and I got up. We're always up that early. We went and made our masks. And guys, I honestly thought the masks were going to be like paper masks. They're actually really nice masks. So if you want a mask or a souvenir to say, I made this on Carnival Venecia or Carnival Firenze, go to the Creativity at Sea, make the Venetian mask, and then you can use it that night for formal night. So Andrew enjoyed that. He's not into arts and crafts, but he loves costumes and masks and things. So in fact, I had asked him, I said, are you going to give Joe Marie yours when you get home? And he said no. So he likes dressing up and stuff. So do that because you don't have to buy a mask or bring a mask. They do have masks for sale. They're like $15 in the Pixels Gallery, but yeah, you don't need to. You can just make one. The Grandiosa, yes, the Grandiosa is beautiful. That's the ship I sailed on in the Mediterranean, so loved it. But yeah, other than those two activities, everything else is pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. Says Pierre was the comedian on our cruise last year. Yeah, they have some really good. Yeah, I agree. D&W Carnival comedy shows are the best. They really are. And guys, they get some celebrities on board too. Um, so yeah, definitely check out the comedy shows. And I feel like the system is a little more efficient on this ship as far as lining up because usually they'll have three or four shows each night. They'll do two PG, two adult shows, and they'll alternate comedians out. So the first part of the cruise, so like the first 2 or 3 days, there'll be two comedians that alternate out, and then the last half they'll have two new comedians. So I think that's pretty cool. I don't think I've seen a comedian on MSC. Now that you said that, I don't think I've seen a comedian on MSC. Has anyone seen a comedian on MSC? Let me know. I don't think so. I don't think so. They'll have like magicians. They'll have aerialists. They'll have. I don't think I've ever seen a comedian on MSC. Welcome in event yours. Appreciate you being here. What's your question? Where do I be finding what? Yep, strange data open. Oh, did I go all the way back? Hold on, guys. I think I went all the way back to the top. Okay, there we go. Gelato tasting sounds great. Yeah. Oh, the gelato at Java Blue Cafe. It's not included, but it's delicious. It's 350 for a scoop, but it's a pretty big scoop. It's really good. Michael says, "Now I remember your icon cruise, the creepy camera woman statue." Yep, that is it. Lashonda, welcome in. Says, "Have you cruised Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas before?" It'll be my first Royal Caribbean cruise. Any suggestions? Yeah. Love Allure of the Seas. I cruised it, but I did not vlog it because I was on board for Autism on the Seas. I was volunteering, and I didn't find it appropriate to be filming while I was volunteering to support families. So I don't have vlogs on that. Um, Allure of the Seas tips. I'm trying to think. Well, if you have any kids, just know there's no water slides or a water park or anything. It is the first Oasis class ship. It's a huge ship. Trying to think of any tips that would be different from any other ship. I don't know. Just know that if you're traveling with kids, there's no water slides or a water park. They do have a couple of large pools, which are nice. Oh, make sure the water show. So they have an aqua show, which is extremely popular. You will need to reserve that. Trying to think alert because Royal Caribbean, some other ships you do the reservations on the app before the cruise. Sometimes you do it on board. I think Allure of the Seas, you do it on board. As soon as you get on board, get on the ship's Wi-Fi, log in, check out the Aqua Show, get that scheduled because it will sell out. They have ice skating shows. Those sell out as well. And all of this is included. You just have to actually go in and reserve it. Reserve the Aqua Show, reserve the ice show, and they'll also have ice skating sessions. Those sell out as well. And the ice skating sessions are included. So yeah, my biggest tip would be go on the app as soon as you get on board, reserve all of those popular shows because if you wait until later in the evening or the next day, they'll be sold out. And then it'll be kind of, standing room only or, if they have standby, but definitely do that. Same thing for their shows. Their shows are really good. Where do you go? Where do you go be finding that good Wi-Fi? Um, right now I'm on deck three. I feel like the Wi-Fi has been pretty okay on the ship. It has like disconnected me a couple of times, but I feel like it's been okay as far as like me being able to stream. So I guess rule of thumb is to kind of be near guest services because in my mind, you would think they have to have good Wi-Fi because of what they do. So I'm like, if I'm by guest services, then it'll work out. Usually, like on embarkation day, I'm on my cell service, not Wi-Fi. But yeah, right now I'm on the Wi-Fi, and it's been pretty good on the ship. Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you, Shalonda. I appreciate that. Welcome in TWTTV. Thank you so much. I have no problem with MSC. Um, I feel like honestly, I feel like MSC has improved since I first cruised with them. My biggest issue with MSC was the food. I personally like you hear mixed reviews about things. Um, I overall the ships have been beautiful. I did have one issue on one ship on MSC Seaside where my cabin was filthy, and I did film that and I shared that. But other than that, I haven't had any issues. I know people will say that they've heard that MSC can be racist or um, not as accepting of other, you know, cultures and things. That has not been my experience. I have seen though a couple situations where I recall one time, and I didn't vlog it, but I kind of talked about it as it happened, where like a woman went up to a bar to order something, and she wasn't black. She walked up to the bar to order something, and the waiter did not acknowledge her. He acknowledged the man behind, and the man behind was like, "No, she was here first." I think some of it's culture. Um, it's a European cruise line, and I think sometimes we have to recognize that, the people on the ships, they're not usually from the US. And if we're cruising from the US, sometimes they might have, you know, certain ways that they handle things and do things. That's part of their culture that we don't necessarily understand. But we immediately go to they're racist, or they hate, or they, and that there may be some of that, but I always like to seek to understand first. So I'm trying to understand, well, why did that happen? Why did this interaction? I personally have not experienced any of that, but I can tell you that I don't think that's like a big, I think those are isolated events if you've heard anything like that. But overall, no issues with MSC. Have you done a cruise that included the U.S. Virgin Island, Jamaica? Yeah. Um, Actually, St. Thomas is my favorite island. I think once we retire, that's probably where we're going to retire to. Um, yeah, I like Jamaica. I like Virgin Islands. You're probably not going to find the two on the same itinerary. It's not likely usually because of where they're located. Usually, you're going to find Jamaica with like Grand Cayman, maybe Mexico. Um, yeah, yeah. I pretty much like all the islands. Like even the islands that people feel like they don't like people that say they don't like Nassau. I love all the islands. I just like being near the water. I like being near the people. I love trying foods. I like to do the excursion. So, yeah, I like it all. Dean Davis, we enjoyed your Carnival Chef's Kitchen video with Ron. It was very special. Yeah, and that's something I wish they would get across all of the ships. It was really nice. And I actually have made those dishes a few times at home. Really good. And I love that they send the recipe to you after, like right after the class, they sent the recipe. So that's pretty cool. Welcome in, Renelda. Appreciate you tuning in. For those of you that are tuning in, if you could hit that like button for me, I appreciate it. I'm just live on board Carnival Firenze. Just took a break from enjoying the sea day, just to chat. And if you guys have questions about Carnival Firenze or Carnival in general, feel free to ask. I'm gonna get off here in about 10 minutes though, because I'm sure Andrew's probably waiting for me. I told him to hop on and he could watch me. So he didn't want to come down and get on the camera. So we saw the comedian A Train. Yeah, A Train is very popular on Carnival too. I think I've seen him 3 or 4 times on Carnival. Game Changers is 32 more days, right? I'm packed. Yeah. So she's speaking about our group cruise. So yeah, can't wait to meet you guys. Um, Shiree says, I experienced racism on MSC, but not from the staff. That's another good point. Because it is a European cruise line, it is extremely diverse. And it's not going to look like your typical Carnival or Royal Caribbean cruise. It's going to look very different. And again, it goes to seek to understand. A lot of times people would do things that it's just culturally they find it's okay. Some people find it's okay to be in your personal space or to not say excuse me or to, and so depending on where you're from, you might look at that and say, it's racist or it's rude or it's, this and that, but that's just how they live and how they are. So, yeah, I could totally see that because I'm not gonna say that people are different because that sounds odd, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, it's a different vibe of people. Yep, almost check-in time. Yep, Ellis McKinley's on our group cruise as well. Yep, that's right. Um, yeah, it is. It is almost check-in time. Like, you guys remind me. So I'm trying to think what else, but yeah. So overall, having a good time here on Carnival Firenze. Next cruise will be the family. So head to Tampa on We're to Tampa in a week. So get off the ship. I'll have a couple of days to rest and catch up with work and stuff. And then we'll be going to Tampa for a week or so, boarding Margaritaville at Sea Islander, media cruise, going to Busch Gardens, and Margaritaville at Sea inaugural cruise, followed by the MSC group cruise. I don't think I have anything in between the two. So our group cruise is just a quick 3-day group cruise going to MSC Ocean Cay and Nassau. And this group of individuals that are joining us, like I said, 147 people, about 60% of them are either first time cruisers or first time to MSC cruisers. So it'll be very interesting. And really, it's a very laid back cruise. It's just, to introduce people to MSC. Um, and have a good time. Introduce people to cruising. That's kind of what my goal is. So yeah, so I'm excited for it. Welcome in Myers Mill. Appreciate you tuning in. Keeling said that lady put her dirty plate. Yeah, don't get me upset again. When I was in the Mediterranean, a lady literally, and guys, I'm the type of content creator, like, I don't want to put people on blast, but sometimes I feel like you should kind of keep your camera rolling so that people believe what you're saying. Because some people didn't believe it, but you could see my expression because I was literally talking to the camera, saying something, and I had to just shut it off because you probably saw my eyes go like, shut up. I was sitting at the table, lady was sitting next to me. She took her dirty plate and put it in front of me because there was like an empty spot. So I quickly turned the camera off, and it's like maybe I should have kept that rolling, but I didn't because I don't like to put people out there like that. But yeah, so I just gave her a look, and her husband took the plate off my table. So that type of behavior, like she didn't see anything wrong with that. Like, why would you not keep your dirty plate on your table? Why are you putting it on my clean table? So yeah. Thank you for the feedback. We have been debating between MSC and Royal Caribbean. Yeah, I still try them all at least once. I mean, I have people that don't like Royal Caribbean, some that don't like Carnival. I mean, really try them all. Me, for instance, I did not care for Virgin Voyages. I do plan to give them another try. You have to try them at least once, and I'm kind of like a three strikes and you're out. So I will be trying Virgin Voyages again soon. Are you going to have a meeting group on the MSC group cruise? Yes, we will be meeting up. Welcome in, Berries and Cream. If I don't get a drink package, are there diabetic friendly drinks besides tap water? Um, I mean, they have diet sodas. Not like alcoholic drinks, I don't think, because you're going to have sugars and sweeteners and things in there. Um, yeah, not that I can think of. Not that I can think of. But yeah, you can get diet drinks. What month would you recommend to cruise during hurricane season, or does it matter? It honestly doesn't matter. It's very unpredictable. Hurricane season runs from June till November. Um, it's unpredictable. I personally, we cruise more in the summer and hurricane season than any other time of the year, and thank goodness we've never experienced one. But just know that cruises, they have ways of going around the hurricane. So they'll do one or two. They'll do one of a few different things. They'll either go around the hurricane. They'll change your itinerary. So that's why I tell people, especially during hurricane season, don't get yourself so stuck on I must visit this port, because there's a good chance that your cruise will still continue, but your ports could change. If there happens to be a named storm that's coming in a direction, they might change you from, I don't know. They might change you from a private island to just Nassau, or that's too close. They might change you from Nassau to Mexico, or change you, so don't go into it thinking that, um, you have a destination you want to go to, you have to go to, because it could change. So you have to be flexible. Um, but I don't think there's a better time at all. I would say probably the tail end seems to get less storms, because like I'm thinking you get a little bit more rain in like July. So maybe like that June, November, you're probably a little safer, but you just never know. They're expecting, I think there's more named or storms, I think, for this year already than there had been in years past. So make sure you have travel insurance. And that's the other thing too. If you don't have travel insurance, know that if the cruise line has to cancel because of a hurricane, more than likely they're going to issue you like a future cruise credit or what have you. Um, they don't have to do that though. They don't, because weather is not their issue. More than likely they're not going to cancel it. But let's say there's a named storm and you feel uncomfortable and you want to cancel. If you don't have insurance, you're just kind of out of luck. It's not gonna happen. So you definitely want to make sure you have some insurance. And then also with the cruise line, if they offer you a credit, um, some people will say, I don't want credit, I want to get my money back. Then that's where you would need the insurance. I really enjoyed Ocean K. The drinks were free on the island. I didn't have a drink package. Really? Really? When did they start doing that? Yeah, I've always had to have a drink package to drink on Ocean Cat. They must have been. Did you guys have like a delay or anything? Because that did happen. um, who was I cruising with? Dyson? I don't remember. I was cruising recently. We had a delay. No, my sister actually. We had it like they didn't announce that the drinks were free, but she went to get us something and they would not take her card. And so then we went back to get like a bottle of water. They didn't take her card. So maybe if there's a delay, they just say, "Hey, don't charge anyone for drinks," because yeah, we did have that happen once. I saw a news report this year. They're expecting August, maybe high this season. Good to know. Good to know. I'll be I'll be somewhere in August, far, far away. Um, Melina, welcome in. Thanks for tuning in. I agree. Due to a hurricane, we changed from the Western Caribbean to the Eastern Caribbean. No problem. We had a great time because of the cruise. Yeah. Um, I say that because I've had people that have like planned weddings. I've had a couple clients that have reached out to say, "Hey, I want to do a vow renewal, in this island." I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it because, especially if you're having family travel, unless you're flexible, unless you can say, "Well, if we don't dock or this and that, it doesn't happen, then I'm fine doing something small on the ship or whatever." If you can even do that, but don't go into it thinking, I'm sticking. I want this itinerary. I must go to these places. Also, keep in mind that a lot of those tender ports tend to have a greater chance of being canceled in the summertime. Tender ports meaning the ports where the ship can't dock right at the pier. It has to anchor further out, and you have to take a water taxi. So think of places like Grand Cayman, Half Moon Cay, um, Cabo San Lucas. So any port that you can't dock to, you gotta have to be mindful of that because those get canceled quickly. Um, Sharice says some people didn't want to ride the elevator with my husband and I, or sit next to us at dinner. At the buffet, a whole family picked up their food. Ooh, wow. Yeah, I've never experienced that, but that's horrible. Carnival does not sell cruise line insurance to New York City residents. They do not. Most cruise lines don't. Some of them will have like a partnership with like a company where you can purchase it separately. There's some New York, I don't know off the top of my head, there's some sort of New York law that prohibits insurance with travel, or it has to be done a certain kind of way. So yeah, you're correct. Carnival does not sell it, but you can still get insurance if you live in New York. You just have to get it through a third party. Like Royal Caribbean have um can't think of the name of their insurance company, but you can get it through Royal Caribbean. You just have to call a separate number. Carnival does not allow that, and you can book through like Allianz or other insurance places. Yeah, New York has tough insurance regulations. Is there free Wi-Fi in all ports? No, nope, not at all. Most ports don't have free Wi-Fi. Some will have it like right when you get off the ship, like if there's like a bar or whatever. Some bars will have Wi-Fi that you can connect to, but no, you don't always have Wi-Fi. Uh, Game changers, and we do not get a state discount, right? We will be on the Glory in October for my that for your 60th birthday, your best friend's 60th birthday. That's awesome. We'll be on Carnival Glory sometime soon. So, all right, guys. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in for this impromptu live stream. So, yeah, I'm gonna go get Andrew. We're gonna find something else to do, and like I said, we have dinner at 5:30. So we still have like 3 hours before we have dinner. So we'll figure out something to do. He went to the arcade earlier and had fun, racing cars, and right now Drew's so chill. Like he's fine just being there, listening to his music. He was watching a cartoon when I left, so um, he's good, but I'm trying to think what else is coming up. NCL Sky, I'll be finishing up that vlog series. Hope to have that out this week. The next vlog series will be um, probably Carnival Firenze, followed by Margaritaville at Sea Islander. And we'll have some other things popping in here soon. David says Juno just installed. Yeah, you mentioned that before. Juno just installed free Wi-Fi. You said it affected your Wi-Fi at home. You used to be able to get travel insurance through Carnival, but I think this all started around the pandemic. Okay. And see, I wasn't a travel advisor right around the pandemic, so I wasn't sure about the whole New York thing, but yeah, I know you can't get it. Um, yes, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys probably won't see me live again until probably Margaritaville at Sea Islander because we have, yeah, we'll go live at some point. Probably Margaritaville at Sea Islander. I will be going live doing a live ship tour um, June 11th at 1:30 p.m. It's already on our live streams tab, so be sure to turn that notification bell on. I'll be going live walking the entire ship um, because no one really. So, for those of you that don't know, Margaritaville at Sea, this ship, it's new to Margaritaville at Sea, but it's not new. It's not a new ship. It was the Costa Atlantica, which is a 22, 23-year-old ship. So it's an older ship that they have refurbished. But there's not a lot of, like, if you look up Costa Atlantica, Costa Costa, you're not going to find any vlogs or really any information about it because, yeah, there's just nothing about it really. So I wanted to get out. People are curious to know what this ship is going to look like, especially compared to the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, which is a totally different class of ship. So I want to make sure I get that information out to you guys. So I'll be doing a live ship tour, and then I will have an actual ship tour ready within a few days of me being on board. So that's kind of my mission. My goal is to get that um, out there. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So we're really excited for that. And then, like I said, we'll be going to Busch Gardens. And guys, we've done a few theme parks, but we're not huge, like as far as like roller coasters and this and that. So like the kids are like really hyped for this, being able to go to Busch Gardens and really experience that. I don't think I've been to Busch Gardens since I was like 8 years old. So, so we'll be there. So we'll be taking you guys along for that as well. But yeah, I probably won't go live again until sometime next week when we get to Tampa. So stay tuned for that. And please hit that thumbs up for me. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And we will see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.